Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, here with my co-host,
Cheri Martin, and we are the WCN Interactive Team, marketing and social media strategists, helping you
to dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
Yes, Richard, for that growth, prosperity, and success. And along with our guest experts each Wednesday at 12 noon, we are here to share tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so you can have more fun.
And my favorite, more profits.
All right. Well, we want to welcome all of our listeners to the So Social Radio Show again and ask you to connect with us on Facebook at So Social Radio Show. If you're on Twitter, go to WCN Interactive, and online at our website at SoSocialRadioShow.com, and you'll be able to learn a little bit more about our guest experts right there on our webpage. Now, we do welcome you to actually click that like button on Facebook, and again, that's So Social Radio Show. Let us know what topics you'd like to hear a conversation on. You know, Richard, we're all about, that education and want to make sure that we're bringing you, our listeners, what you want to hear.
Exactly, and I love it. Before we get on with that anymore, I'd like to list our sponsors.
Definitely need to thank those show partners, right?
Absolutely so. I want to start with my charity of choice. It's called the AVET Project, Inc., and it's American Veteran Empowerment Team. And they have done so much for the vets. It is just unbelievable. They give so much of themselves, not just money and everything else.
Kim and Garen are phenomenal, and they actually have a radio show as well, and you can listen to the American Warrior Radio Show every Saturday at 11 a.m. on AM 1060 WMEL, also live streaming at 1060WMEL.com. And you can always help with their cause and donate at www.avetproject.org.
Also, Constant Contact, an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits to grow and succeed through email marketing. I love it.
Exactly. You can be a marketer, and with one toolkit and one login, they're right there with Constant Contact. So I encourage you, get started growing your marketing list at bit.ly/WCN free CT. That's bit.ly/WCN free CT.
And Everything Brevard. It's a community website, and if you want to keep up to date with everything that's happening in Brevard, get your business listed on www.everythingbrevard.com today.
Exactly. And we also want to make sure that if you would like to be, in fact, we'd love to have you as one of our team members, and if you would like to be a So Social Radio Show advertiser or a Spotlight sponsor, just contact me, Cheri, at CLM@WCNinteractive.com. Again, CLM@WCNinteractive.com. My gosh, Richard, I'm so excited because we have an awesome guest today.
Oh, one of my favorite guests of all times in the last year. I mean, this lady she's just special people. There's no other way to say it.
She's so easy to talk with, and I know our audience is so excited to hear her.
She's so genuine.
Exactly. We want to do an official introduction of our guest expert this week. She's on the show here from Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's Mama Red Knight, and she is the executive biz chef and content chef in charge of Taming the Beasties, and we're going to find out what those are today that keep you from doing what you love most and do best. Mama Red's greatest wish is to help you be a legally lazy biz owner. Love it.
I like that, legally lazy, yes.
One who uses the best tools, technology, and processes stolen from her days as a corporate consultant for the likes of Intel, Eli Lilly and Company, and IBM. Now, seriously, why shouldn't you have the best of the best, right?
Hey, if you're going to do it, if you're going to spend your buck, you should demand it.
Well, your business deserves success. You deserve success, and people are waiting to hear from you. Let Mama Red help you get back to what you love most and do best. So, with that, I want to welcome officially Mama Red Knight to the Social Radio Show. Hello, Mama Red.
Hello, darlings. Golly, jeepers, I'm sitting here blushing.
Well, you're good. No, you're great. Take it. Live with it. Own it.
Thank you so much. I'll tell you what, I was sitting there and thinking, how blessed am I to get to work with you guys again, and it's just been forever, and I'm so grateful that we get to do this show together. Thank you for having me.
We're so excited to have you back with us once again.
Before we started the show today, we were just kind of reminiscing about the last time we spoke and when you were a guest on our show in August. Has it been that long? This is ridiculous, right?
Oh, for heaven's sake. Seriously, I knew it had been a while, but I didn't know it had been that long. Goodness.
Yes, it has been. I was like, we had just gotten back from our Hawaii trip.
That's right.
That's right.
Gosh, life moves just too swiftly, so we just got to keep smiling and having fun, right?
What is it they say? Oh, gosh, I just lost the old saying. Time flies when you're having fun. Well, it is true, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we don't have fun and we just sit there and mope around each day, I'd rather it go fast than drag out.
Hon, I have done the drag around and, have the sad sack face. Believe me, this is a whole lot better.
So
sucks.
Well, I know when we had you on last time, we talked about, content, and that is your specialty. So I just really would like to extend that conversation and really talk about content marketing. And, the reason why is, I do a lot of training with social media, and the one thing that I hear from clients is that it isn't so much that they don't want to do social media. They just don't know what to post, and they feel it just really keeps them from moving forward, developing that content.
I think that's probably one of the toughest. I mean, I think learning the technology may be easier than figuring that one out, which is sad because most people struggle with the technology.
Mhm. Well, exactly. At times, that's probably what I love creating content, but when it comes to finding the right tools. So I am just so excited today. We're going to really just dive into this and provide our listeners with so much information. So before we get started, I want to tell everyone that's listening today, grab a pad of paper, not one piece of paper, a pad of paper, and a pen, or if you have a pencil, get a sharpener too, because Mama Red is just going to just blow your mind today with what she has to offer. In fact, when we were talking about what the topic should be, there's so many different things, but I think it's really about how to create a social media system that gets your product or service in front of the right eyeballs without driving you to distraction.
I think that was quite well said. Congratulations, my dear.
Well,
good job.
You get overwhelmed, with it. So I'm so excited to know what you're going to be sharing with our audience today.
Absolutely. You make having conversation easy and a pleasure, and you're just so natural at it. And in your social snacks book, you just carry that right on through on just talking easy.
Well,
thank you.
Isn't the content really a communication tool, the content you're creating?
It is. It's your message, and if you think about it that way, I think people get caught up in, I don't know how to write, and I'm not a good writer, and everything about social media or blogging or whatever tool is about being a writer. And I talk with my clients about expunging the memory of their third grade teacher with the mad red pen that bled all over their paper that they had worked so hard on, and realizing that that's not what this is about. Good communication still uses basic tools, of course. You can't speak in English if somebody only speaks Italian and expect them to get it. So you do need to know your audience. You need to know what they want to know. You need to know how they want to know it. I know that if you will, grew up in the corporate world, and you had to be very proper, and you used things like prerequisites. You didn't say before you begin. You said prerequisites, because that was the proper way to be corporate. I don't do prerequisites. Really well.
I love that.
I
don't
do
even
before
do
you begin. What do you need to know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I call things social snacks and ingredients. And so one of the things that's really important about communication, and then it rolls over, of course, to social media, is who are you talking to? Who's your who? Who are the people that, if you had your choice, would you say, hey, Cheri, Richard, you want to come over for a beer? You want to come up for a cup of coffee? Let's sit out on the back porch and watch the sunrise. Oh, and we might get into a discussion, who knows on what. And that's what you need to get to when you're looking at what you're putting out there. And I don't care what the medium is. I don't care if it's a Kindle book, a social snack, which for those of you who don't know me is a social post, but that's way too boring of a name. So we had to come up with something that went with my cooking analogies.
Okay, everything goes towards your cooking analogy, and that's why I just think the social snack is so delicious.
I'm going to steal that.
I love it.
So what I'd like people to think about is, instead of social snacks or social media or what do I post, forget all that. Throw it out in the trash. Now, what I'd like you to think about is, if I were having a conversation with somebody who I really, really love sharing time with, what I say to them when it comes to business. Now, obviously, you're going to have conversation about kids or swimming or favorite sports, but think about your business stuff. When do you get jazzed? What gets you going? Cheri, I know you dearly adore writing. That's just you, and you rock it. Richard, if I recall correctly, I know it's been a day or three, but you love the strategy and you love the systems and you love the technology. Am I remembering right?
Absolutely. You're right on.
Yes.
So if you were to sit down and, let's say, Richard, I told you, okay, Richard, I want you to sit down and I want you to have a conversation about writing. And there would be this blank. You just
I'm looking blank right now.
You should see his expression right now.
I could hear it. It is like waffling through the airwaves. And Cheri, if I said, now, Cheri, here's what I want you to do. I really, really, really want you to go out and research technology for the right way to create a CRM.
No, thank you. That's
so
what
I
for.
think happens with people is that's exactly what they do. They hear some bigwig somewhere say they gotta write a book, or they gotta be on Instagram, or they gotta be wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'd like you to back up and think about is, instead of any of those things, forget it. You're not going to create content. You're not going to anything. You're going to have a conversation.
Love that.
And your conversation is going to be on something that you really, really love, you're really, really good at, and there's somebody out there hanging with their fingernails, like at the edge of a cliff. Think of those old scary movies. And they're thinking, oh, my gosh, if only Richard would help me understand this thing called strategy. I just don't get it. And then start thinking about it. And let's say, let me take a guess on a couple things you might have run up in your classes, but I'm really not a good writer. Or I don't speak well. Or I just don't do graphics. I mean, the business I'm in, it just ain't graphical, man. It just ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Ever heard any of those?
Oh, yes.
Here's my solution. Stop listening to other people. Except me, because I'm talking right now and I want you to listen to me.
There's always an exception to every rule.
Of course, and I'm it. Thank you very much for getting that. But what I want you to think of is having a conversation. And let's say that you hate writing. It makes you want to cry. You'd rather